Okay, so here we have basically the different modules. We have our requirements, development, and testing. So within each of these, what you would have to do currently is create a project, the same project actually in multiple places. And that's kind of confusing. So project one essentially turns that around and makes it a lot easier. So here, I'm going to take you right into the tool. It's got a, a much simpler interface for easier task operations and whatnot. And basically, it's going to be a lot simpler to use. So in terms of the projects, this is how it would look like. So when I go into an ALM project or a software development project, essentially what I'm going to see under the modules would be what I showed you in DevSuite. So we basically just we create a project and then we enable the modules that we want to use. So in this case, since it's a software development application and we need the total traceability, I enabled requirements, development, and testing. Okay, so there's no need to create this project in multiple places. Instead, it's the reverse, where we create the project and we kind of just pick the modules that we need. Going back into the home page, there's other projects that you can select. So I'm actually using what you guys can use today. So if you go to kloud.com and you sign up for a SaaS site for evaluation, this is going to be the sample data that comes with it. So going back over here to simple task tracking, this is for one of those projects where you just simply don't care about that total traceability. So inside simple task tracking, I don't have any of those modules. I simply, just want to track my tasks for this particular project. So in this case, the company holiday, we're planning for that. So up on the top, I'm planning, all the tasks that we need to accomplish. And then down below, would be where we actually execute those tasks, right? So these are tasks that are organized, by these different categories and filters and whatnot. And then when we're ready, we can just go ahead and click on assign, and then we can assign that to different people. So that's the execution side of things. I'm going to illustrate this more when we go into or back into our development project. So over here on the home page, gonna go back over there. Before I go any deeper, just want to let you guys know that we are slowly migrating all of the DevSuite features into Project One. So today, what you're gonna see is simpler task management and whatnot, but eventually all of those features that you have in DevSuite will be ported over. One of the things that I can show you right away is that we are getting ready, or we already have a web-based admin. So I kind of wanted to introduce that to you guys. So some of the basic things like, managing users, adding fields, creating workflows and whatnot can be done actually in the web interface now. There's a lot more settings that are in the Windows admin that we're currently migrating, but for now, at least the basics, we're able to do directly from the web interface. The other thing I wanted to show you guys is this product was designed with performance in mind. So this is, a simple interface, not a lot of JavaScripts, using, HTML5 and the latest UI technologies and whatnot. And on top of that, we have a Windows application as well. So for those of you guys who just really want the best performance possible, we have a native Windows app that you can install and just sits right on top. Okay, so it's right here. It's Windows app, and it has all the features that you're going to see within the web interface. Okay, so there's no loading of JavaScripts and things like that that kind of slow down, the web version a little bit. All right, so going into the development project, I'm going to start with the development module, and then slowly I'm going to cover, some of these other modules. But within the development module, it's going to be very similar to what you guys may have already today in DevSuite. So it's just a different view, but it's a lot easier to operate. So we cleaned up all of the filters up on the top. They're a lot more intuitive. They don't take too much space, but you still get, all of those filters and all that functionality. So over here on the left-hand side, again, I have my milestones, my different releases, and then underneath I would have my different sprints, right? So you can kind of, if you're not practicing Agile today, that's okay. you can create additional milestones without, using the sprints. But the sprints are going to give you a little bit more than just this list view. Okay, so the list view, um, basically, if I click into any of these fields, inline editing should be there right away. So if I click on, progress status, for example, and I want to change the status, I'm able to just click in that field and kind of modify it right away. Now, if I click, anywhere else, not on a certain field, but anywhere else, it'll pull up the right-hand side right here. And so this is the new editing UI. It's a lot simpler. And I just want to mention to you guys that I'm using the ProjectOne Standard Edition. And so the Standard Edition is basically just covers these system fields, right? So if you guys aren't tracking, a lot of custom fields and whatnot, the Standard Edition will be, perfect for you. The Enterprise Edition will include, all of the custom fields that you may have, as well as multiple workflows and some of those. And we'll outline that later. I'll send that to you guys later on the on the differences between the two, but just know that I'm using the standard edition, which includes just, system fields and not any custom fields. Okay, so just want to point that out. Okay, now let's go into a sprint, and I kind of want to share with you guys what Taryn was mentioning earlier in the slides. So this storyboard here is, traditionally you have your storyboard, group by statuses and whatnot, right? So we can easily drag these cards, these tasks, into any of these status columns, right? So that's your traditional storyboard, but we kind of transform that into what we call a task board. So I just need to go ahead and change that filter and then enable the owner swim lane. And by doing so, I'm going to actually see all of my team members that are within this particular sprint. And when I expand on one of these guys, I'm able to see kind of like a calendar approach right here where my cards actually not only have a status to them, but they're assigned to a specific date that we think this particular individual is going to be working on this task, right? So yeah, so it's a different view. The other thing I wanted to show you that's not currently in this system too, back to what Taryn was mentioning, is these little status icons right here. So this indicates your availability. So Terry Johnson right now, what I've done is as a timesheet, I basically logged in. So I can easily click on that to log in. And then at the end of the day, when I sign out, I can just click on log out again. Okay, so during the time that I am logged in, my status icon becomes green, right? So in theory, if everybody's there, this icon will be green. But there's also that request to reply feature, that Dean feature that Taryn was mentioning. So oftentimes, people may look like they're there, but you reached out to them through Skype, through other means, and they're just not responding to you. So what we can do is we can actually go to that particular user. I'm going to do it for Paul Wagner here. There's a little icon here, and we could just request to reply from Paul, right? So, hey, Paul, I try to reach out to you. Please, get back to me, something like that. So I'm sending him a message, and if he is available, he'll get an alert that says that somebody's asking him to reply. Okay, and this ding level right here is just indicating the severity. So Taryn mentioned earlier that this system is capable of some AI stuff where we can auto calculate individual or team performance and things like that. One of them, one of the factors would be this request to reply. So if you have a 2-star severity, then it just represents that, hey, it's not that severe, it's not going to be counted towards you or anything like that, versus something that's much more critical, a 5-star. But Paul will have the ability to actually respond, okay? But if he doesn't respond, it's recorded and it may potentially affect his performance, okay? So that's what this request to reply feature is for. So yeah, so that's the development portion. So it's a lot more than just your traditional, list view, task management. We've kind of transformed it a little bit into time management and availability to kind of cope with our situation that we're in now. Going back over here, I'm going to hop over to the requirements piece. So the requirements piece is kind of identical to what you see inside Dev Suite, right? So we have our own project here. We have the components. for this particular product. Over on the right-hand side, you know what, let me flip back to this guy right here. So I'm flipping through different systems. I apologize for that. They all have different builds, and some of them have some features and the others don't. So I apologize for switching. But coming back into the requirements, we have our high-level requirement, and then we have our children's specs underneath that, right? So you can see the parent hierarchy, and again, similar to development, everything is going to be consistent. So I click on this, I'm going to get my right window pane here. I can click on the fields again to change things quickly throughout with inline editing. But here, I'm going to show you some cool things, some of the things that I really like. So back over here, now that's loaded, I'm going to actually take this requirement, and what I'm going to do is I am going to associate an attachment to this. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm going to go ahead and, so I was working with the team last night, and I discovered I'm playing with the software, on a daily basis as a product owner. So, I've recorded some of these issues that I found while playing with ProjectOne. So I'm going to go ahead and upload those issues, and it's asking me to select, where I want to put them in cloud. So this storage right here is all cloud-based now using the cloud live doc technology, and the backend is Amazon and Ali Ring, so it's international. Documents can be accessible anywhere. It's super quick and it's very secure, right? Because we're using AWS as the backend technology. So when I do something like this, it basically will upload it to the cloud, and what I can do there is I can actually open up cloud. So there's a little icon. I have this ProjectOne integrated with cloud. And Taryn mentioned, any application can integrate with cloud, right? Through the API, through the plugin. So if you have Salesforce and you want to, enable these features I'm about to show you, we can do so. So in ProjectOne, I can click on there, and I believe I already have it opened. But here's what I can do. So in the documents right here, anything I upload will be stored in a document inside the document tab and inside some space. So I can create as many spaces as I need to kind of organize these documents. But for now, I just kind of dump them all into one place. Over here, I have my uploaded document. I can click on it, and I can start doing syncs. Okay, so what syncs are either voice recordings, annotations, and meetings, and so on and so forth. So on a document, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to create a new sync. Okay, so it's going to record my audio, things I'm telling you right now. So I want to tell the team, hey, look, guys, not only did I write down what the issues are, but I feel like you may not potentially understand what they are, and I kind of want to just explain this further to you. So what I can do is I can go ahead and use some of these annotation tools over on the right-hand side, and I can go ahead and highlight, hey guys, this guy is wrong. We need to rename that. We need to do something here as well. We can keep going on throughout the entire document and kind of just record my voice, right? So the sync is happening at the moment, right? So it's recording. It's also capturing all the annotations that I'm doing. So as soon as I'm done, I can go ahead and save that, and I can give it a name. So I'll just call it issues for now. Apologize for the misspelling. Issues, hit OK right here. All right, so once I do that, then it's recorded as a sync. So this is what we mean by documents becoming live. All right, so it's one of the cooler features that I really think you guys can take advantage of by using cloud. So back over here inside the requirements piece, I'm going to go ahead and just refresh this real quick by hitting that refresh right here. You'll see that my documents will actually have that recording on them. So if I click on my P1 issues right here, I should be able to see my syncs right here. So all those different recordings that I have are all captured, as part of my documents, right? So here I can see, and I can play back any of these. So I recorded one earlier, and we can basically click on that sync and play it back, and it will basically play to the audience whatever I recorded as part of this document. So this I find very useful, not only for capturing issues like this, but let's just say you have requirements that need to be discussed in detail. Oftentimes requirement docs are complete, but the thought process behind that isn't really captured. But now with Cloud, what you can do is record, all of our brainstorming sessions together, right? So all of our ideas that went into this document can all be recorded, can all be captured as part of this document. The other thing I wanted to show you guys is the ability to actually, within any work item, whether it's in requirements, whether it's in development, anything, any work item, we're able to collaborate on those more easily. So with this Cloud tool, what we can do is, I don't know, Taryn, if this feature is there. I'm guessing it's not just yet, but we can easily, when we select multiple items here, we can send these guys over to what we call a sync room. Okay, so back in Cloud right here, and I'm going to go ahead and close this real quick. Sync rooms happen here. So they're topic discussions, right? So what I could do is, it's kind of like Slack in a sense, where you have all these different channels and whatnot, but you're essentially throwing these work items into these rooms where then, all of your discussions, all of the meetings that you're working on or have had, are all recorded within that channel. So there could be many of these channels, many of these topics, and within them, you're going to have, different tasks, different requirements, different things. And I wish I can show you. We'll present that in a different webinar. It's currently not working for me, but just know that these channels actually store everything within one place. So all of your discussions, all of your meetings. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Sync room for the sample site is not enabled. The sync room for the internal system for requirement review is enabled. For the chattings, discussions, meeting on any items is delayed. Will be 1 month away.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so that feature. Gotcha. Okay. So, yep. So, I mean, in a month when we do another webinar on this, I'm going to be able to show you guys this in more detail. And then lastly, I just wanted to share with you guys the meetings. So the meetings are essentially what we're doing right now. So an online meeting, a go-to meeting, a WebEx, a Zoom meeting, what have you. So that's what a cloud meeting is. It's essentially the ability to actually be able to do any meeting from any task, any requirement, anything. Okay, and those meetings are saved as part of your task, as part of your documents, and so on and so forth. So from any document, let's say I wanted to, do an online meeting with my distributed team that's located, elsewhere, I can do so. So I can click into the document, and from here, I can easily just go ahead and start a meeting. And that's an online meeting. I can start inviting attendees. I can, in fact, even invite customers as part of this discussion. So yeah, so that's what the meeting function is all about. So essentially, you don't have to go out and get different meeting software and things like that. It's all built in this tool. As you can see, it's all integrated together. Okay, so the last portion that I want to share with you guys is the new testing module. So the test library, there's nothing too exciting here. It's basically where you're storing your test cases. Okay, so it's organized again, by these different categories. And really, there's not too much to it. You can still have, verification points and whatnot. Right here, I basically just have a quick test procedure and what the expected results are. But you can certainly do, the environment variables, the verification points, and etc. So moving on over to the test run, this is where you actually execute these tests. So I'm going to go ahead and do that actually live. So let's go ahead and create a new cycle, right? So in the cycle right here, it's going to become what we call a permutation grid. I'm going to kind of show you what that means. So I'm going to say this is test cycle 2, and I'm going to hit next right here. And here I'm going to essentially pick and choose the environments that I want to test against. So I click on this field, and I'm saying, hey, you know what? I want to test against these different environments, these different mobile operating systems, and then maybe these following browsers. Okay, so Firefox and Chrome. I can hit next right here, and it's allowing me to select a combination of these things. So kind of similar to what you guys are doing today inside the testing module. And then basically from here, I would pick the test cases or where they're located at inside my test library. So I'm going to select the entire product, and then I could either finish now and add the task later, the actual testing task later, or I can do it right now. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. and basically pick all the test cases that I want. So I'm just going to do maybe a handful of these to save us some time. So I'm going to hit next right here. And essentially, this is what the grid is. It's a visual representation of everything you're going to be testing. So in this particular case, I want to test, against Android, iOS with the following browsers, right? So it's very visual. I can basically select all of these items, or I can maybe just pick a single column of things I want to test, and then I hit apply. Okay, and then when I hit finish, basically the task will be generated. You guys can kind of see this newer interface is a lot quicker than DevSuite's, cycle wizard, right? So with the testing grid, everything becomes visual. So over here on the second column, what I'm going to see are the test cases, right? And then over on the right-hand side will be the actual testing tasks that I need to complete. So, I can quickly change the status here, pass and fail. So we know that, inside DevTest Today or inside the testing module within DevSuite, there's actually quite a few clicks that you got to go through in order to verify a test case. Well, this ProjectOne, kind of solves that problem where we can do a quick, pass and fail on each of these items. And of course, because we don't see what the actual procedure is, I can definitely click on that and kind of see this, right? Kind of see the details of what this is. But essentially, the point is, it's a lot quicker to operate, a lot easier to do your daily testing and whatnot. Okay, so that's all I'm doing. And then if I had my system done correctly, I could have submitted a defect right back into development as well. So I think, Taryn, that concludes the portion that I wanted to show today. Is there anything else maybe we want to talk about that I'm missing? Okay. Okay.
Okay. No, I think you did an excellent job. I think I can continue to talk about the pricing and the future webinar promotion, and then we start to answer questions. There are quite some questions, very great questions already posted.
Okay, awesome. So do you want to share your screen again, or do you want me to just do, here, I'll just make you do it. Here you go. Make you the presenter.
You do it. Oh, I can do it.
Okay.
Fine, I can do it. All right. So I will share my screen. Okay. So we'll continue, and I will continue to use the sync to record my presentations. So on the pricing, it's easy. We will provide a free edition of Cloud, a standard of Cloud, enterprise cloud, and the ultimate cloud. And I think the ultimate is 25 instead of 15, quite some typo errors still. And then the P1 have a standard editions, Pro editions, which is the enterprise, and the P1 plus Dev3 combo, and the multi-sites. P1 can work with P1 Dev3 together, or can be working standalone. And P1 support multi-sites as well. So in case you have multi-country teams, multi-site will give you the best possible performance. Promotions and important dates. So we're excited. Finally, after very dedicated working for the past 80 years, we got a patent about the live dock technology, about the cloud technology. And we're ready to launch DevSuite 11 along with P1. So by upgrading to DevSuite 11 before the end of August, we would like to offer P1 Standard Edition for free. And then we will also offer a 50% discount for upgrading to Enterprise of P1, and then 20% discount on the Cloud Dock and the Cloud Meetings, and probably the plugin as well. We would like our customers to see online meeting can be done with unlimited resolution without video stream, and it's real, and it's based on our patented technology. And important dates. So we would like our customers to start evaluate P1 by signing up on Kloud.com, probably in a controlled way, because as you guys can see, by the time of May 19, we'll be releasing a beta version of P1 and DevSuite 11. So by then, you can test on-premise at your site using your own server. And before the 19th, we certainly encourage you to test by using Kloud.com, but in a controlled way. Means if it's a big customer, big team, we would like you to contact us so that we can help you to better evaluate P1 alone or P1 with Kloud. We are going to do lots of webinars because we believe finally we have something we are very proud of. We believe it will change the way you do project management. So we will be in a week, we will be providing P1 and Kloud webinar again. We will be showing you how do you utilize in the P1 with DevSuite work together. How do you enable the cloud integration with P1? How do you make the task board so that you can have the time management, availability management, and you can have you will have a very smart way of doing team work performance that drives perhaps your bonus distributions and drives your team's motivation, and so that you have the confidence, even they are working from home, they will be working with productivity. And obviously, we don't see much of cloud today, but it will be cool to see how cloud works on the iPhone, on the Android phone, and iPad, Android pad. How do you do a meeting as a presenter using iPhone? It will be nice to see cloud can display super high resolution on a big TV. How do you install cloud TV app on a TV? And cloud really, it's for the past 8 years, we have been working very hard, and advanced features like Cloud Pen, a smart pen that you can use, that can be used to drive meetings, to share your notes on your almost looking like a regular notebook. Then by 19th, we would like to release the beta, and that can be used, that can be deployed on your server. So by then, we would like to offer a 3 days training, each 1 hour to our customers, so you can well use the P1 functions and the cloud functions. And then obviously cloud with its new way of doing online meetings. You got to see a unlimited online meeting presentation results without the video stream, and you use the sync room, you really can explore a new way of chatting, collaborations, document discussions, meetings, all saved as part of your document, but can always be opened and analyzed. So who is talking and talking for what topic? The traditional online meeting, because the meeting content is recorded as a video, you cannot analyze the behavior of the meeting participants. Cloud is different. Therefore, cloud integrating with customized service-wise of our customer support and help desk solution can really provide even more better benefits. So we will be starting showing how can cloud be integrated with service-wide customized to our customized service-wide customers. So that's about what we want to cover in terms of product demo and the PowerPoint. And I think next will be Prince and I maybe took turn to answer some of the great questions posted.
Yeah, let's go ahead and address some of these questions. There's plenty of questions that we can just pick and choose from, Taryn. But before we do that, do you have a roadmap of what's coming in the near future? What's our roadmap plans? Is that something we can share with our audience right now?
Yes, indeed. We forgot that PowerPoint slide.
Yeah.
So we finally finished almost all the features of Cloud and P1. And so we'll be spending more time of adding functions, improving the product, primary focus with our customers. Texel has been super quiet for the past 8 years. Mainly it's my fault. The CEO got so crazy about the live document technology and fully believing the online meeting will be trending to a different way of doing online meeting, at least as long as you have document content. The video approach will be there because you cannot analyze people's behavior. So with the major work done, we'll be primarily focusing on existing customers and obviously new customers as well. So as a result, Dev Suite functions will be taking about 2 years. We want to be cautious. We want to be migrating functions, the most important ones, into P1 without affecting the ease of use of P1, the beautiful user interface, and much improved the user experience, as well as the commitment of making project management to be interactive. Brainstorming, analyzing the team's brain, the mind, your brain, having the solution to be AI driven in terms of increasing a company's performance by driving project to be successful will be remain committed. However, within
Taryn,
2 years, we'll be
Taryn, let me
yeah.
cut you off there because we have a lot of questions that we need to get to. So
Okay.
one of the questions is basically, when are we planning on migrating all of the features from Dev Suite to ProjectOne? And I think you kind of mentioned it in about a year or so. Is that correct?
Within 1 year, almost all function will be migrated to P1. Within 2 years, will be totally get rid of the admin as well as moving to a server platform to be both Java-based and Windows-based.
Okay, awesome. Okay, great. The other thing, another question that people are asking me, let me go ahead and make myself the presenter real fast, is how can we actually sign up for a SaaS site? So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. We can just go to kloud.com and then go to sign up right here. And, we can just go ahead and create, oh, it looks like we got some issues there. But if we fill out this form, we'll get this corrected. If we fill out this form, then a site will be immediately created for you to eval. And as Taryn mentioned earlier, if you are an existing customer with your own system and whatnot, you just need to reach out to us, send us your database, and we'll place ProjectOne right on top of the system so you can kind of see your data in action. The other thing, so I'm going to answer some of these other questions. So what is triggered by a ding or a request to reply? So within the tool, when you ding someone, there will be an alert here. In fact, I kind of forgot to show you guys this, but under the notifications tab right here, this is all the recent activities as well as any kind of alerts that happen. Of course, there's going to be emails and SMS behind the scenes that can be sent out as well. The next question I have is, does the task list still exist? And the answer to that is yes. Right now, I think we're still missing a few things. So if I go over to development, it looks like when we click on a sprint, we're always seeing the task board, but we're soon going to have that option to, have the list available on sprints as well. So that's something that's coming. Just to let you guys know, we're changing this build daily. So when you sign up for a eval, Don't be surprised if things look different the next day. We're constantly making improvements to this tool before we officially release. So what technology is required to record and having the sync feature? So essentially, it's the second product that I've shown. It's the Cloud Live Dock, right? So as long as you sign up for that, and I believe the sign up process is through here, us.kloud.com. You can go ahead and sign up for an account here. If I logged out, you can sign up, and then you basically have this integrated with your ProjectOne. When you sign up for an eval, this automatically happens, so you don't have to worry about this portion. It's always going to be there for you, what I showed, in terms of recording syncs and having that on your documents. Okay, so this is a great question right here. So will people still need to use DevSuite or just ProjectOne? So I think ProjectOne is going to work in conjunction with DevSuite. What that means is ProjectOne doesn't have all of the DevSuite features, and it kind of depends on what role you have. So if you're just managing tasks, working through tasks on a daily basis, ProjectOne might be, perfect for you. But if you're looking at it from a project perspective, looking at the management portions of it, then you still kind of want to maybe stick with DevSuite for now. So it all depends on what role you are and what kind of user you are. But they
Yeah,
work in.
also,
Mhm,
yeah, also, Prince, Delphi is more like a department, team driven, meaning if you are a manager or if you are working as a product designer
mhm.
and you are designing work or you are managing multiple projects, DevSuite obviously give you all the flexibilities so that you can multi-project working and multitasking workings and multi-view workings. And while P1 is more project focused, you care about your agile team or non-agile team. You care about the project, all the document or the requirement or the task. You want to be just working with an easier user interface. So both Dev3 and the P1 user interface could be useful. So in the futures, as P1 to support the Dev3 functions, one of the challenge will be how do we enable this more department-driven, job role-driven instead of project-centric driven views, and to make the both view to be implemented properly.
Okay, awesome. Then we have another question where people are currently, building third-party applications to kind of export, data from one system and importing it into DevTrack using our RESTful API. So is this still going to work with ProjectOne? The answer to that is yes. ProjectOne is going to have an open API because we hope that you can actually integrate, with any tool. And because you're currently importing into DevTrack today, ProjectOne essentially sits on top of that. So if you import into DevTrack, you'll see that data directly within ProjectOne. So no problems there. Okay, so let's see. We got other questions. Let me see. I'm just kind of picking and choosing here. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we have a question where they're asking us if we are going to be offering chat capabilities within the tool. So that's one of the things that we are currently implementing. I believe it's already there. So in the next webinar, we will be showing a little bit more on Kloud itself, where we can see what we can do within meetings. So you can chat there. You can chat within the channels, the sync rooms, etc. So that chatting capability is going to be available. Okay.
Yeah, Prince,
Mm-hmm.
we already have the 4 chatting functions plus the sync room. We can do not only chatting, but including document sharing, document discussions, and online meeting, really offline meeting as well, all together. Ideally, next time when we do cloud presentations for the next webinar, we would like to see the possibility of some of our customers to be showing off the cloud with TV, with the big monitors, big TV as part of the multi-team meetings, because cloud has a different approach versus the GoToMeeting and WebEx and Zoom, but it has many cool features of itself.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Okay, so I'm going to answer one last question for now because we're, running out of time here. So the last question here is, let's see. So um, ProjectOne standard versus enterprise. So I think some of our customers got a little bit confused on, what the two are. So are they going to be getting the standard edition for free? Is that what we're saying for if they're currently using any of the modules within DevSuite?
Yeah, if currently you are a DevSuite customer for any modules, we will give you the standard edition for free as long as you plan to migrate soon. The official date is the end of August. We would like to, uh, to drive for that date, but in case additional more dates is needed, I think it will be okay.
Okay, great. So that's the last question I'm going to be answering for now. And of course, if there's any other questions that I didn't answer, we'll go ahead and reach out to you via email, and I'll try to answer you guys. And of course, you can always reach out to me. We can do one-on-one sessions or reach out to your account manager, and we could set up something to walk you through, Project One or Cloud in more detail. So thank you guys all for joining today's session, and look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks again.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Bye-bye.